Ken Griffin, Stephen Ross, bankroll $10 million campaign to attract other CEOs to South Florida, and they said it's the only place a founder can scale. Now, Ken Griffin is a heavyweight to make a comment like that. Rob, is this the clip?
Yes, sir.
Go for it, Rob.
Florida is the future. It is unequivocally the next jumping off place for American business. And we're seeing that already taking shape right here on the Florida Gold Coast.
I've lived in a failed city-state, so I'm grateful for the leadership in the state of Florida. This is a great place to call home.
This is a place that welcomes entrepreneurs and innovators.
Florida has so many resources to deliver that talent.
This really will become the next Silicon Valley of this country.
The regulatory environment is great for businesses.
Florida is probably the best business state in this country. This is the ideal place for growth.
What? By the way, I've never seen this ad.
Me neither.
What a great ad after me saying we're hiring in Florida. FYI, let me read this to you. So he says there's the only place a CEO founder can scale from 10 employees to 10,000 employees will be South Florida. By the way, we literally moved down here with 8 full-time employees, and we now have 164 full-time employees. We're about to get the plans for the 3 buildings we're building on our property to be able to house an additional 1,500 employees. The market here, lifestyle is incredible. But let me continue reading this. Ross told me, while other cities are still special, they no longer support building business and supporting ambition like you find here in Florida. The next generation of transformational leaders of business will come from South Florida. Griffin, who founded Citadel Fund, is worth approximately $51 billion, according to Forbes. Ross, the founder of real estate juggernaut Related Companies, now leads its companies worth $17 billion. The two are backing Ambition Accelerated, an initiative through the Florida Council of 100, targeting CEOs and investors with national ads and direct outreach, pitching Florida's Gold Coast as the premier place to scale a company. Tom, your thoughts on this?
I think this is fantastic. And this kind of reminds me when a certain governor of Texas was running ads in California.
Yes, Perry.
In 2015, saying, "Come on to Texas, it's good." And we saw, by the way, we saw U-Haul. This is a true story. Pat and I saw this story. We researched it in Texas. During spring break, U-Haul would pay college students 2 or 3 to drive a truck from Texas back to California because they were coming from California to Texas, and then the trucks were stranded. They had too many trucks.
Can you imagine that?
That's U-Haul was paying college students over spring break. Hey, you want to go to California? Want to go to Palm Springs for spring break? It's not glamorous, but we'll pay you to drive the truck. So that just shows you what has been happening. I think this is tremendous. If both of these men are building businesses here. If you know anything about Stephen Ross, he is hiring. If you're a quarterback, there's an opening in Miami. You know, there's a lot of things that are going on. I'm not picking on you, Mr. Ross. We want you to have a winning team, and we look forward to you to finding that guy. There are a lot of things, and this is what leadership is. When 2 men are willing to stand up, they have to go to Congress, and they have to talk about their industry. And do you think they get a good reception on both sides of the aisle when they run an ad like this? No. Do you think that Ken Griffin got a good reception when he left Illinois and came down here and moved not just himself to telecommute, he moved his company. And he's building a large tower in Miami that will house not only his business, but others as well. I think this is tremendous. And South Florida,
Jeff, where you at with this?
Is growing.
I love it.
There is a huge stark divide.
Sorry to get revved up.
No, it should be, because look, when I was younger, which was a long time ago, but when I was younger, there was always a divide.
Speak for yourself.
There's always a left-right divide, and it was usually about tax policy, right? You know, Democrats tended to tax more, a little bit more regulation, but there wasn't much of a divide there. These days, the left-right divide is absolutely massive, to the point that I think we talked about this before last time I was here, or one of the other times I was here, that they now demonize success. They demonize billionaires. You know, billionaire is a bad word. Success is a bad word. It's gotten to the point where, and all of these the divisions really became very visible and stark after the pandemic, or during the pandemic and afterward, where it has gotten to the point where it's not just an annoyance, to be in some of these blue areas. And again, I come from upstate New York. I've seen the downside to all of this. And the reason I'm in Florida is for this reason, same exact reason. It is a business-friendly environment, and that's just where it starts. But what I'm saying is I think that a lot of the business community and people like Griffin and Ross and others have finally realized that this is no longer just some minor issue about tax policy. There is a fundamental difference at play here. And the downstream consequences, what Tom talked about with people moving. Why are people moving to red states like Florida, Texas, the Carolinas to an extent? Carolina's still pretty hot. People are moving because people like Ken Griffin are moving jobs into these areas. It's a complete top to bottom type of situation because, like I said, the divide is no longer just a small thing. It's a huge thing.
No, you're right.
It makes it impossible.
And by the way, the latest thing is a California tech company moving headquarters to Florida,
the
and
wealth
another
confiscation.
devastating blow.
They're talking about wealth confiscation, which is, I mean, we're going beyond just income taxes or tax rates.
I mean, this is D-Wave CEO Dr. Alan Baratz claimed Florida's rapidly growing tech ecosystem, expanding talent pool, and supportive research environment makes the state ideal for quantum innovation. For what? For quantum innovation. They're moving from Palo Alto to Boca Raton, Florida. In January, Boca Raton official approved a resolution where D-Wave would get up to $500,000 to relocate there and create 100 new jobs with an average annual salary of at least $125,000.
Of what?
Of $125,000.
So these are high-paying jobs.
Of course they are. By the way, if this was going to New York, AOC wouldn't have approved it. She would have said, no, go to a different place. We don't want you to pay our people too much money. We want you to go to a different place. And Brandon, where are you at with this?
I mean, you could feel it and see it everywhere. So, I mean, I've been to a lot of different states in the last couple of years, and you could feel the energy of a state, whether its best days were behind it or ahead of it. And I'm from Connecticut. I go there a couple times a year, and you could feel it's like night and day. You could see things falling apart there. You could see it kind of decrepit, some like a lack of energy in the environment. But here, you see buildings popping up everywhere. You see like a pep in people's step. You see that its best days are ahead of it. So it's infectious. You could really feel it and see it like from that Miami section up to West Palm. That's probably going to be like the financial center and like the real engine of the country for the next decade.
Gang, once a year we host an event called the Sales Leadership Summit. If you're a sales leader running a business and you want to find out how is the most effective way to move your revenue, watch this clip about the event that's coming up with Sales Leadership Summit. Go ahead, Rob.
Say you're a CEO, you're a boss, you're an executive, you're a leader. Which of these 4 feelings do you want your employees or your sales team to feel the most? Do you want them to like you? Do you want them to trust you? Do you want them to respect you? Or do you want them to fear you? And if I was to ask you to order them and say, I think I want them to like me first, then I want them to trust me, then I want them to respect me, I don't want them to fear me, right? This whole thing that we're talking about. Developing salespeople and a big sales team, which can exponentially increase the valuation of your company, your income, your lifestyle. This is a big problem to solve. You have to get these 4 things in order while you're developing people. Once a year, I host a conference called the Sales Leadership Summit, which is purely about developing salespeople. And we go through this 200-page manual together. This year, we're doing it at the Trump Doral from March 25th to the 27th. And that dynamic of like, trust, respect, and fear is one of the ones that creates a lot of debate. If you want to find out how you can attend this event, click on a link below. Get registered. One of our consultants will get a hold of you.
All right. Having said that, click on a link below. This is you have to qualify to attend. You need to do a minimum of $1 million and have 5 people on your sales team to attend this conference. But the link is below. Click on it. Talk to our consultants. They will tell you all about it. Cannot wait to see many of you there this year at Trump Doral.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.